with the GPU, but that was not the case. However, there's still one thing I had yet to try, and that's booting in with the integrated graphics, something that I couldn't do with the budget PC. But by turning on my PC with the integrated graphics, I could see if the Quadro 7000 would at least show up in Device Manager. That way I'll know for sure if it's a dead GPU. And somehow, what was originally an attempt to see if it was dead actually revealed the opposite. The GPU is actually alive. I was convinced that this GPU was cooked, but it's actually showing up in Device Manager. Not only did we find out that the GPU was alive though, but it also says that Windows has stopped this device because it has reported problems. You might be wondering why I'm saying this with such enthusiasm, because you'd think that it's a bad thing. But actually, this just means that it's fixable. I can't remember the last time I saw this error, but it pretty much confirms that we either have some sort of hardware or driver issue. And it was at this moment that I finally realized this GPU is not just a slightly faster version of the Quadro 6000. And apparently, even my PC didn't know this, because if you look here, it auto-installed graphics drivers that don't even work with it. So no wonder we couldn't get a display. And the same thing probably happened with the other PC as well. Because how's the display supposed to work if the PC thinks that I have no VRAM? Unfortunately though, when I searched for Quadro 7000 drivers on NVIDIA's official website, it told me that Windows 10 and 11 drivers do not exist for this card, which is common for older workstation cards like this, because they were specifically designed for Windows Server builds, so I had to dig a little bit deeper to find the best drivers for my GPU. After some time, I found a super old article that said the latest driver release to support it was driver release 375. So I decided to install it and see what would happen, even though it's meant for Windows Server 2016 and not Windows 11. Unfortunately though, the driver installation failed. But not all was lost, because apparently only the WMI installation failed, and I don't think that's essential for gaming. The actual graphics driver is still installed, and when I went back to GPU-Z, all the unknown information is replaced with actual numbers. But we have yet to see if the GPU actually functions, because we're still using the integrated graphics. So to know for sure, it's time to reconnect the LG Twin Towers monitor back to the 7000. And what do you know? It actually works. So it's finally time to see just how well a $14,000 GPU from 2012 runs games in 2026. We're gonna run these in-game tests from oldest to newest. Starting with Tomb Raider 2013, a AAA game released just 1 year after the Quadro 7000, I didn't expect it to be a struggle, and it definitely was not. At 1080p high settings, this game gets 85 average FPS. Moving on to Rise of the Tomb Raider from 2015, this is when graphics and gaming were improving at an exponential rate. So in this game, we were only able to run it at 59 FPS at 768p on the low preset. Moving on to 2017. Now last time, Fortnite literally would not work on the Quadro 6000, but this time things were different. When it told me to update my drivers and I said no, instead of fully crashing the game, I actually loaded into the main menu. Something that the Quadro 6000 couldn't do. You might think that it's because we're using a newer, more powerful test PC, but it's not like the other test PC was outdated at all. All of the specs on that test PC either met or exceeded Fortnite's recommended specs, apart from the Quadro 6000 of course, but both GPUs still very much meet the minimum requirements for the game. They're both significantly faster than Intel's HD 4000, and yet only one of them can open the game. I'm definitely gonna have to retry the Quadro 6000 with older drivers another time. With all that out of the way, I loaded up the FPS test map. It's a completely empty map and puts a lot of stress on the GPU to try and render as many frames as possible, while the CPU basically doesn't have to do anything. And on performance mode, we're getting 187 average FPS. Obviously, this CPU can do 5 times more with a better GPU, but still, this is pretty close to what my $500 laptop could do, so all things considered, 187 is not that bad. What is pretty bad is the gaming experience in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Last time I tried running this game on the 6000, we had this really strange thing. I don't know what was really going on, but the textures were glitching out. Kind of looks like those microbots from Big Hero 6, but like 10 times more disgusting. I don't know what it is, but it kind of gives me this tingly feeling. It kind of feels gross. And I thought that was some sort of VRAM issue. I thought maybe the VRAM was like broken or something, but the comments enlightened me and y'all said it was some sort of architectural problem because the GPU is old and whatever, and that problem still exists on the Quadro 7000, even though it's about a year newer. But because it's on the same generation, yeah, we still have that texture bug, and even at 600p on the lowest preset, we still only get 53 FPS. Better than what happened with Cyberpunk though, because when I tried to run that game, it instantly crashed. Pretty sure everyone knew that was gonna happen though. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy this one too, where I connected a $2,000 GPU to my budget laptop. So watch this video